Hello there. Today I'll teach you all how to use this fun little toy called Nunchaku. I guess we'll get started with most basic move. Alright, so the first move I ever learned with the nunchucks was this move here, where you hold it behind the shoulder with both your hands. One hand holding the bottom part and one hand holding the top part. And then you strike out with the top part, which is a strike move. So the other move I'm doing here is we're striking out from the armpit, where we're holding it inside of our armpit. And then you just strike out similarly, but you can also strike out across your body, if you really wanted to. You could swing it across your body from that position. I think that is something they teach. But I do not think they teach you to strike out from that position. I could be wrong, though. This one took me a while when I first got started learning nunchucks, but you basically are going up, across, and into the other hand. Or up, across, behind the shoulder, into the other hand. And grabbing it. It takes a little bit to get that one down when you first get started. You can also go over the shoulder into the other hand and then across to the other side. And that's what you're supposed to do first to learn it, and then do the other one next because it's harder. Now, they often teach that you can use the chain as a block in various different ways. Usually you step back when you pull it up to block. We're going to take it into the block position from our that position we did earlier where we strike out from. And we're going to spin it over the top of our other hand. This one is really hard. This one took me quite a long time to learn. Like, I think I was still making mistakes after about a month of having practiced it. And I cannot do it on my left hand. On my left hand, it just ends up going flying. Because you gotta be fast on the maneuvers, you know? This one looks like it would hurt, but really it's just like playing basketball. You just gotta make sure that the chain is what comes in contact with you, because otherwise it is going to hurt. Because if the red part comes in contact with you, that's the part that hurts. The red part. The chain, no pain. So when I recorded this, I actually had just learned how to go around the neck, because it is incredibly difficult, believe it or not. You have to have just the perfect angle of getting the nunchuck. So at this time I was not very good, and I probably hit myself in the head quite a few times. I've also been experimenting with going under the armpit around the back to the other side. It's not useful. Well, it kinda is, because it gets it in the other hand, but it puts it on like across your body. Like, what? But this is really just the art of it. This is why it's so fun, because you just move it across. It's in a new position. There's really no other reason to learn these other than that, and it also is pretty nice in it. Nice time killer, focus. It helps you focus on stuff, I guess. And I almost forgot to mention that if you were to spar with this, that would be fun. But I would not use this for self-defense. Just go get some other weapon, like a big stick. So I was trying to demonstrate the getting the angle, but like I've trained myself at this point I had trained myself to not have the wrong angle. So I was trying to show you all the wrong angle, but I just ended up looking stupid and hitting myself in the back of the head over and over again on a straight angle. If your angle is too up or too down and not perfectly parallel to like your shoulder, it will not go around your neck and it will just hit you in the back or the head. I always had a problem with these flail weapons where if you hit something with it, it just kind of bounces off. Which is, I mean, there's a physical explanation for that. It's because it's not rigid, and that's why these are not very great. Also because there's a point in them where they don't actually hurt the chain. So like if you get your hand, put your hand in the chain when they're trying to strike, it's probably gonna completely nullify the strike, isn't it? Plus, there's also a distance needed for this, but that's not to say that all flail weapons are bad. I think some of them could be kind of good, but there's better alternatives. A weapon we'll look at in the future that's superior to this is just the 3-section staff. Mainly because it's bigger. Bigger's better. Bigger means more mass, and mass beats mass. And also, mass hits harder. It's the difference between a 50 caliber and a 9mm. One hits way harder than the other, dude. But also, in the case of the 3-section staff, the length also gives it even greater amount of effectiveness. Plus, you can even use it as just sticks. So, if everything else fails, sticks. As a strangulation, dude, there's so much you can do with that thing. One downside, though, is that on some of the different strikes you can do with it, it's very unpredictable. And the one I have is not made of foam. The one I have, when I was first training with it, actually was incredibly painful because I kept hitting myself in the back of the head with it. In fact, my first pair of nunchucks was not foam at all, either. It was just PVC pipes, but it was absolutely the worst pair ever. I still have it, though. It's the problem with it was that it was too small, and the actual length of the rope in it was not long enough. Plus, there's way more you can. Well, I wouldn't say there's way more you can do with a 3-section staff. It does feel kind of limited, but in the same way that this feels also limited as well.